Who does more housework? Is it women or is it men? Well, recent figures show that despite the onward march of gender equality, in recent decades, women still do a significant amount more housework than men. Remember in lockdown, there kept being all those surveys about women doing so much more. Even though everyone was at home, no one could leave the house, it was still the women doing the housework. Clocking up nearly an hour more unpaid work on average every day. So who does more in your home? 0207 862 2222, that's the number. Do give me a ring because I'd love to hear what goes on in your house. Let's start with you, JJ.
I don't know what you women are complaining about. Honestly, I don't. You're just bleating on all the time. Do a bit of clean. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
I'm going to say. Here's a duster. Get on with it. Here's a J-cloth. Go on.
In my house, I do the majority of the cleaning. But the proper deep cleans, she does.
Why is that?
Well, I like to just pick stuff up and put it away. Right. And I do a bit of vacuuming and I'll cook most of the food.
What about the bins? Surely that's a key factor.
Oh, that's definitely...
You don't leave her to do the bins.
Yeah, she does. Yeah,
she does the bins.
She does the bins.
Well, I'm so glad I'm not with you.
They're only small bins. But if you want to have the house spotless, then she does. She does take care of that stuff.
And why?
She's just better at it than I am.
Oh, that's an old-fashioned thing. That's
true.
what they call a trope. You're better at that than me. That's just a way out of it.
Make things look pretty. Right. Like the house looks like this. She's better at making everything be in place. I'm better at picking up the plates and putting them in the dishwasher. She's better at making everything look better.
I'm so glad I'm not with you. I am so glad.
How would you feel if he was saying, well, she's just better at it?
No, he would never say that about me because I hate housework and I am dreadful at it because I get distracted. I don't want to do it. Then I think, I'm going to make this phone call, then I'll do it. I never do it. I'd rather pay someone to do it, and every boyfriend and my ex-husband were great at it and did it. But my biggest rows with my ex-husband were over the dishwasher, the way I used to pack it. Because he'd say, why
were you doing wrong? What was
because cups have to be in a certain place and the pots and the and I'd be just do. I want to go out or do something else more exciting. And he'd say, no, come, look, you're doing... We'd have our biggest rows over the dishwasher.
Wait, so in your household, it's the men who do most of cleaning?
Yes.
In my household, I do most of it, but she does it better.
Well, no, I'd rather work hard and pay someone to do it.
Yes, I mean, I have a really lovely lady called Doocy who very, very sweetly does, cleans up. I wouldn't say after me because I don't think I leave a trail of
destruction.
I don't think so, but she comes in to do the bits that I suppose I don't fancy doing if I'm really, really honest about it. And I don't feel guilty about it because I think we're a fantastic team. She's great and I love her and she's been around for about 15 years and we get on well. Actually, people become your really close friend after a while, especially as you're not in a boardroom, you're just in your own kitchen. If it's me having several biscuits, several cups of tea and a good old chat and really confiding in her, asking her advice on absolutely everything and doing exactly what she tells me to do about absolutely everything. She's really great. But I like the bits that make it pretty. Whereas the bits where you're cleaning under the fridge and behind the, not so much.
Duvet cover on. I nearly ended up in the duvet. I can't do it. I just can't do it.
I had the experience that is the uplifting experience that ought to be available to everybody, which was when I was in the Big Brother house way back in 2001, the very first Celebrity Big Brother. Anthea Turner was my fellow housemate. Now, Anthea Turner is just the domestic goddess par excellence. And she gave us lectures and seminars on changing duvet covers. I mean, she can do it with a flick of a wrist. She's so amazing.
Look, Anthea, I never forget, she tries to teach me how to do the socks, how to roll your jumper, how to do...
She's good at all of that.
And she'd say, I know where you've been in my house. She'd say, because you leave a trail of destruction. She'd know. And it was just, me and Anthea, opposites.
Is it unfair to just admit that sometimes in households, women are generally maybe more naturally...
We're making you nervous now, aren't we? We're definitely
both glaring at you.
His usual trenchant opinion. On politics, he'll say anything. On housework, you can see him treading very good.
Exactly.
We're not going to attack you. This isn't kind of the revenge of the Valkyries here. We're going to be gentle with you.
I'm so thankful.
Let's go to Emma. Now, Emma is on the line in Hampshire with a damn good idea, Emma. Really glad you phoned. Happy bank holiday. What would you like to say about housework?
Bank holiday. I was just... so I'm a full-time working mum. Yeah. And I work quite long hours, and I have 3 children. They're old enough to be able to chip in. Yeah. So we have a rota where they help with the washing. Someone puts the washing on, somebody puts the washing out. We have delegated evenings where one will cook, so I'm not doing the cooking every evening when I come home from work. Yeah. And I think that's really, really good because especially my son, he's 20, and you know, one day he's going to move out and have a partner. And I've always said to him, and the girls as well, it's not just about the man or the woman. It's doing it together, because you're going to have children probably one day, or maybe you won't. But it's not all on one person. Do it together.
You know, that partner of his will bless your name. You know that.
Really will, Emma.
She will say, your glorious, sainted mother. What a wonderful, wonderful woman. She's prepared you to be this charming and wonderful kind of housebroken partner, not someone who is living here like a non-paying guest,
Exactly.
which so many people do. Emma, tell me, how old are the kids? One's 20. What about the others?
So my eldest daughter's 22, and her partner lives with us as well. And then my son is 20, and my youngest is at college. She's almost 17. But then she loves cleaning, so she'll do the bathrooms. So does my son, who will cook one night a week. My eldest daughter and her partner, they cook one day a week, and they'll do the washing. They'll distribute the washing out once it's dried. You know, just little things like that help, so that I'm out of, you know, working and travelling, and then I come in, and it's not just, right, I've got to go home and then do the cooking, do the cleaning. Everyone chips in. We all live here together, and it's really
have you got
important
it to
lessons.
Have you got it to the point where, Emma, you don't need to come in and start nagging and lecturing and reminding? Do they properly take responsibility?
They do take responsibility. I think a rota is really, really good, because they know each of the different things that they need to do. Yeah. Sometimes things like loading up the dishwasher, doing it properly, because no one quite does it like mum.
Oh, that's true.
But
Emma, I mean, do your kids not complain and go, oh, Mum, do I have to do it?
Then these aren't kids. These are adults.
No,
Yeah, I mean, you've taught them life skills. It's unbelievable. I think that's where my mum went wrong, because she wouldn't ever let me do anything, because she said it's going to be horrific if you do it. So that's why I think I'm no good at it and never do it. Honestly, that's the truth. My mum wouldn't let me touch anything. I couldn't even make a piece of toast.
But did you see the thing in the papers this weekend about how parents think that if you ask your kids, Emma, I hope you'll respond to this, if you ask your kids to clean the car, that's tantamount to cruelty. You're not meant to kind of exploit them by asking. What do you think about that, Emma?
Rubbish, absolute rubbish. No, because everyone is contributing, and I think you have to teach, you know, it doesn't matter that they're older, ever since they've been little, just doing little things around the house, just helping. And you shouldn't have to pay children to do things like this. It's not slave labour. It's you live in a home together, have respect for each other, pull your weight a little bit. I'm not asking them, you know, to do a thorough house clean every single day, but just help. And recognise that we all live together. We'd like to have nice food and eat nice meals. Let's all do it together and just play our part.
Tremendous
Emma.
parenting. I mean, absolutely marvellous. You better write a book on it or something like that, so that everyone can get the hang of how you do it. Emma, lovely to hear from you. Thank you so much for joining us on the programme. I mean, she's right.
She's right.
Isn't
And
she?
it gives you them life skills. I mean, my boys are so tidy. I don't know how they're my children. They are. They know when I've been in the room. They're like, Mum, what have you done? They're like the adults.
And you've got a 4-year-old.
I've got
Tell
a
me how
4-year-old.
you're bringing him up.
He tidies his bedroom. He has to put his toys away. They have to be in a specific order. He has to make his bed when he gets up in the morning. When he comes in from being out, his shoes have to go in a specific place. He's got to put his coat up. So he's being taught how to look after himself and how to tidy. But I do think that with the division of labour, just place your strengths. I don't care if...
Place your strengths.
Play your strengths.
Place your strengths. If the woman happens to be better at cleaning, so be it. In my household, I'm good at ironing, so my fiancé doesn't touch the iron. I'm always doing the ironing for everyone. Which is fine, but she's also great at making the pillows.
I'll tell you what it
up.
was like in my house when I was growing up. So we would come in. My mum was very, very untidy. She was always thinking of something else, reading a novel, writing a poem, doing something in her herbaceous border. A bit like Lizzie. No, she was not tidying, let's put it that way. And so we'd come in from school, we'd just fling our coats over the banister, fling our school bags down, you sit there watching Grange Hill, Blue Peter, having a right laugh. Then we'd hear my father's car in the drive. We would leap up, and we would start hanging the coats in the cupboard and all that. If we didn't, my father would come through the door and say, how have you not used those wardrobes expressly installed at vast expense for that purpose? You know, what the hell were the clothes doing lolling? One of us would run to get his slippers. If we didn't, I swear. And the punchline was, you know, he was out there working for us. You know? And if without him, we didn't eat, you know, we'd starve to death. No. You know, we better show it by running and getting the slippers. There was none of this, don't upset the children by asking them to clean the car. The very opposite. It's been the making of me. As you
It's the making of you, Vanessa.
The making of me, definitely.